Hi, this is Dr. Grande. I hope you find this video useful. If that's the case, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. All right, so the effort to improve communication started off well, but then something happened that didn't go as well. So let's start with how it started off. Right, so started off well, what happened there?
Well, I just was able to kind of take some time to greet my husband when he got home. I wasn't holding any angst towards our daughter, that I was just holding in and releasing to him, which was my problem, and it's been my problem for a long time. So I was actually able to just breathe and not attack him as soon as he got in the door. So I've been taking moments and it's been different. So our communication, I've been able to calmly say, well, this is what happened today, if it was unfavorable, or, and he was able to listen to me. I felt really understood and heard, and it just changed a lot of our dynamics at home.
All right, do you think that's a fair characterization?
Yeah, it's been like that. We try to talk more, and she really, I could tell she was making an effort, to maybe not be so reactive to certain things. And, on my behalf, I can say that I try to be more understanding of her and maybe where she's coming from when she's saying something, and not take it as an attack, or, kind of understand. So yeah, it was going pretty well. I mean, we even went to have dinner by the two of us, one night, and it was very enjoyable. We had a good time.
We hadn't done that in a long time.
Yeah, so that was progress.
It was nice. We had great conversation. It was just the two of us. We didn't have anything to worry about. It was just really great conversation. It really took me back to how we were when we first got married.
Yeah.
She wants to punish me forever. He doesn't see that I should be punished for however long this is going to take. I don't know.
I'm sorry, but forever and 1 week just are not.
It feels like
the
forever,
same.
Mom.
So Anna, what do you think would be the appropriate consequence for what happened with you?
Well, she took my phone away, my laptop. I can't watch Netflix. She told me to read a book. I mean, I can't do anything. And Ashley, my friend that I told you about last time, it was her birthday party, and she's one of my close friends, and I was gonna miss out on that, and I feel like I learned my lesson.
So you feel like the consequences should be done now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tracy, when Anna was talking, I saw that you looked at Charles, kind of like with an expression that said, say something. What would you want him to say there?
Just kind of back up the punishment. I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to take the electronics away. Like, you didn't care that I said no and that you knew your father would say yes, so you went straight to him, and he did. So I guess that was where I'm hurt and annoyed by all of this.
You're always annoyed.
Okay. So Anna, when your mother said no, did you feel like that was an obstacle to going to the party?
I mean, I was gonna go either way.
How?
I mean,
If you're grounded and we said no, how would you possibly go either way? I mean, that defiance right there is just, that is the problem.
you want to control me.
It's not about controlling you. I'm gonna go either way. Like,
It's one of my best friends, and you just want to ruin everything for me.
these are consequences.
So you asked your mother, even though you really had no plans of, like whether she said yes or no didn't really matter.
Not really.
In terms of what you would do.
Honestly, I don't even know why I asked her. I should have just asked my dad in the first place, but.
Did you sense that she was going to say no before you asked?
Well, I thought she was in a good mood, and they had just went out to dinner the night before, and I don't know. I don't even know why I asked her, honestly. I don't know.
You did. She said no, and then what made you think of the idea of asking your dad?
Because my dad adores me, and I know that he would say yes.
And he did.
Yeah.
And he did. All right. Is that a typical pattern in this relationship, Charles?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I didn't know that, Anna already asked Tracy and she said no, so I had no idea. And for me, maybe in my mind, the whole taking, the phone, the computer, not Netflix, it was punishment enough. So when she comes and she asks me, can I go to my friend's birthday party? I was like, okay, yes. Maybe I can own that I didn't ask Tracy first, or, kind of like consulted with her about the decision, but I thought that the punishment was already, in progress and it was enough. So it's kind of like, okay. But yeah, I know she takes advantage of me being softy with her.
Are there any safeguards that you as a couple can put in place to prevent this type of kind of end around the rules?
I feel like it, honestly, it happened so quick within the first time she asked me and then she asked him. I feel like if I had a conversation with you and said, hey, Anna asked me if she could go to this party, I could have either consulted with you on that and said, what do you think? And could have, heard your ideas. I truly did not think that her punishment was enough, but it sounds like you did. If we had a conversation about that, maybe, I guess it wouldn't have been completely fair to me to say, I said no, absolutely not, without a discussion.
All right, so maybe what would help is, for this time period anyway, when it's not clear between you if the consequences are really over or not, maybe was discussion prior to any type of answer being provided for really any inquiry?
Yeah, I guess that's another part of the communication we're working on, is that, trying to understand her, and when she's trying not to be so reactive, as soon as I get home, maybe, we will have to get a common ground on when, it comes to Anna. Because there are many arguments that are about, that, what I think, what she thinks, or, maybe we should try like a united front on that matter, so to speak.
What do you think about that, Anne?
I feel like I'm in the way. Like if I was never born, you guys would never be in this counseling room. Like, I just feel like I'm always the problem. That's why we're here, aren't we?
No, no, it's not why we're here. We obviously aren't communicating well for many reasons. And now it's just we're having a hard time. No, you're not the problem. We're happy to have you, for sure.
Any thoughts on that, Charles? On Anna's statement?
I adore both of them. For me, they're my life. That's, why I'm working so hard, why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing, is to make them happy, give them, whatever they want. No, it's not that. But sometimes I think that you don't help in situations. You make things more difficult. And it's not that we don't love you, it's just that, you seems that for some reason try to push us, kind of like to push and see what's going to happen, kind of like testing our limits in a way.
Does that ring true for you, Anna? You feel like
I
you're,
mean, I don't mean to.
it's not what you want to do.
I don't do it on purpose.
Mm. So you can appreciate how your parents love you and value you, but they're not always thrilled with your behavior.
Right.
Is there any adjustment that could be made there?
I mean, I guess I can think a little more before I act.
Can you give me an example?
Like, instead of just saying I'm going to go to the birthday party, I could sit down with my mom and work something out. Maybe I could have just went for a little bit and not stayed over. Maybe we can, like, agree to disagree. I don't know.
So what do you two think about that?
I'm open to discussions. I feel like when I say no to you, you're just like, you fly off the handle and you don't, and I know you get it from me. I know I'm the same way, so it's not, and I'm working on that. But I feel like maybe if I got to hear you out a little bit and hear why the party was so important to you, we could have come to some sort of agreement, with your father in the conversation. So yeah, I think it's something we can work on.
Charles, any thoughts?
No, I think it's good, compromising, and also, you knew you weren't allowed to go, so I didn't know that. I thought,
I'm sorry,
it was
Dad.
kind of, going behind your mother's back. If you had, you had said maybe why don't you talk to mom, and maybe, instead of asking permission, maybe it would have worked for you. But, instead I didn't know, I say yes, and then, we're back again arguing with your mother. You're back grounded because not only they took, all that had been taken, but now you can talk with your friends after school. You had to come straight home. So I just thought it was, worse for everybody.
I'm sorry.
So you think this kind of marks the beginning of a time of change for you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm tired of being grounded.
So the consequences are motivating you a bit?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I feel bad for my dad because I feel like I'm always getting him yelled at too, so.
So you feel like what you do causes him to get yelled at by
Yeah.
your mother?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Kind of. Sometimes it's also, I had to be responsible for my part. Like I said, if I had gone and asked Tracy, Anna wants to go to this party, that would have also prevented. So I own my part that, I didn't communicate with her or, work as a unit, the two of us, as a parental unit, like, okay, we're both responsible, we should be making or taking decisions together. I just assumed, and that didn't work. And yeah, I sometimes, I'm soft, and I try to make her happy, and I try to have the childhood that I couldn't have, and I'm more relaxed. But it's good that you see that you're, the consequences that your actions bring, and you're learning from that.
So Anna, you're willing to make some changes. What would you like to see from your parents in terms of how they relate to you?
Well, I would like my mom to spend more time with me and get to know me instead of just lashing out at me all the time. maybe we could have a relationship like I do with my dad.
You'd like that?
Yeah.
That same type of relationship with your mom?
Mhm.
I'm actually really surprised to hear you say that. I never even imagined that you would even want to spend time with me. It's just the vibe I've been getting for like the past, ever since you turned 12. So it makes me happy to hear you say that. I love that.
Anna, any changes from your dad? Anything you want to see there?
No, I love my dad.
So that relationship's working okay.
Yeah.
All right. No real changes there, and closer to your mom.
Yeah.
So how about the communication between you two? It started off well. We talked about this at the beginning of the session. It started off well. There was some trouble over the weekend.
Mhm.
I think we've kind of figured out what might have caused that.
Yeah, I still feel like when Anna was saying that I'm always getting her dad in trouble and I'm always yelling. I just feel like I'm even starting to envision myself as someone that just is yelling all the time, and she's gotten used to seeing that. I feel like that's how I reacted over the weekend. Right off the bat, I just came out yelling. It wasn't even like I was so emotional about everything that I just lost control, which is something that I've been working on and trying so hard to work on, and then it just took that to get me right back there. So I'm a little ashamed that I was able to just throw away everything that I'd been working on for the past week and then just yelling.
So other than that, I mean, I can see this is tough for you. Other than that, you did really well, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was going great. I mean, dinner we had together at a restaurant, just the two of us. We get to talk, we get, kind of like, don't worry about anything, it's just an enjoyment. It was a very nice time together. And as she said, it reminded us when we met, when we were dating, before getting married. It was good. It was good. The thing is, she felt that, I just ignored her when I said yes to Anna to go to the party. She felt that, I just completely, went on my own, didn't ask her, and it was the same kind of like before. No communication, no connection between us. So, yeah.
So there may be a tendency, and I've seen this before, when there's a problem, to kind of erase the gains, right? Kind of resets everything back to the beginning. I think you described it as 10 steps backward.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
That's how you felt, and I can certainly appreciate why you felt that way. I wonder if, in reality, you really made several steps forward, maybe just one step backward.
It's definitely a better perspective.
Is that an accurate way to look at this?
I mean, now that I'm sitting here, listening and being a part of this conversation, I do definitely feel like I've made more progress than I gave myself credit for. So yes, that is a more accurate painting.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think it was a setback. It was, I don't know. We've been doing maybe this for so long that it's easy to fall in that groove. It's easy just to trying to go to your go place. What I felt hurt is when you say I was pushed. Like this happened because the both of us, in a way,
You're
we
right.
didn't
No,
talk.
you're
So
right.
it's that's the only thing that kind of hurt me, feeling like it was absolutely my fault. And it's not that I just want to throw
I'm
blame
sorry,
around,
I didn't mean to say it like that.
but yeah, I think we can go back on that track of what we have been doing before the weekend.
So it sounds like in today's session, all three of you have been willing to make some compromises to make this work a little more smoothly and productively. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
So And you made some, you had some room there for compromise, right? Some things that you're willing to change. And Charles and Tracy, I feel like you could get back on track with that communication. I don't think you've lost all the gains that you made just because of one kind of misunderstanding and maybe communication lapse. I think you could start to rebuild that. And I'd like to see if you're good with this week, moving forward, to pick up where you left off when things are going well. And just let what happened over the weekend be a learning opportunity.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Try to think of yourselves as kind of ahead of zero. You're not really starting at zero. You're up the scale a bit.
Okay.
And try to build on those successes. All right, does that sound like a plan moving forward for this week?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I like that.
So we'll pick up there for next session.
Okay.
All right. So thanks for coming in. I'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Thank you.
Thank you.